So in choosing a financial planner, what are the key elements to understand in what we do as planners? So a financial planner is essentially the only professional in the personal financial services industry that will look, and we are mandated to look at the 6 situations of a client's life. So what are those situations? They are as listed here. So I'll go through them quickly with one example. There are many items to look at in each section, in each situation, but I'll just give you an example of one in each so you understand what each situation is. So the first one is personal and family situation. So we look at if you're married, if you're in a cohabitation agreement, if you are common law. So all the aspects of your family structure and your family dynamic to make sure that we're protecting against any possible risks in a dissolution of a relationship, in the matter of how to combine the family dynamic so that it's meeting your goals down the line. So family and personal situation, that's the first one. The financial situation is very broad. It looks at your budget, it looks at your annual income, it looks at creating debt repayment strategy, it looks at financing for properties. So anything that has to do with a dollar sign, whether it's debt repayment, like I said, setting up for monthly savings, that is essentially the financial situation. It is the broadest part of the 6 situations, and it encompasses anything that involves a dollar sign and a question that you may have about money. So do I lease or buy a car? Do I rent or buy a home, etc., etc. Okay? The taxes situation. So financial planners will give you the overall initial risk on your taxes. So are you paying too much taxes? Are there opportunities for you to lower or reduce your tax rate or your income tax rate? And if so, we take that information in the plan and send it off to your accountant. If your accountant cannot handle it because it's at a higher level, well then we can bring in a fiscalist or a master's in tax to be able to handle that situation, okay? So we find the opportunities or the gaps and then send them off to your accountant. The more a financial planner speaks to your accountant, the better off you will be as a client, okay? Retirement, this is the biggest part of what a financial planner does. You know, the list of other advisors that I mentioned earlier will typically talk about retirement planning, but they are not technically mandated to do retirement plans, okay? They will do simplified ones, but a true retirement plan is the bread and butter and the crux of what a financial planner does. So what is a retirement plan? It answers the question that many of you probably have asked yourself. I'm here in my life, I have this much saved, I want to retire at that age in the future, some age in the future. Will I have enough money to do the things I want to do in retirement? And for how long will I have that money? And last but not least, if I want to leave some money for my kids, will I outlive my money and therefore not be able to leave anything to my kids? That is what a retirement plan answers. And you're never too young to start a retirement plan. We can start with a simple one when you're younger, and when you're at best 10 years from retirement is when we absolutely should do a full-on retirement plan to look at where you're currently at, and if you're short on your retirement plan at that current moment, what are some of the mitigating factors or tasks we can put in place to achieve the goal you want to achieve. So that is the retirement situation. The protection situation is we will look at all of your insurances, from your mortgage insurance, current life insurance, insurance at work, and tie those disability insurance, critical illness insurance, travel insurance. So anything that a human can purchase to insure themselves, we will look at that situation as a whole plan and look at, are there ways where you could save money? Are you overinsured? Are you underinsured? What happens if you have insurance where you pass away in the shorter term? What happens if you have insurance where you pass away in the longer term? Are there any tax advantages in the protection situation? If I buy an insurance in my corporation versus individually, do I have enough disability insurance? What happens if I get cancer? Can I buy a critical illness insurance to protect me that way? So there's a whole range of protection options in this situation. A financial planner can look at all of that overall, and if they do have the insurance license themselves, they can action that plan, and if not, they can send that part of the plan to the insurance broker that you work with. The last point is the one that people enjoy speaking about the least. Unfortunately, it is something that we're all headed towards. So death or the estate situation. Okay, so for me, this is a two-parter. The first part is, do I have enough money as I'm approaching, those years where I'm becoming old and gray? Do I have enough money at the time of death to make sure that I give that money to my family, or basically to whomever or whatever is listed in my will? So that's the first part, is are my wishes going to be protected at death? And then the second part is, how do we settle the estate in a way that's the most beneficial for the heirs? Can we reduce taxes in any way to make sure that there's more money for the heirs? And then, are there strategies or structures that we could put in place, such as trusts? I'm sure you've heard of trusts. So can we put in a trust to move forward that plan of making sure that there's less taxes paid on death and that the money is secured for the heirs? Not everybody will need trusts, so that's really a case-by-case basis, but we will establish the need and then pass it on to either your lawyer or your notary while you're alive to set up those structures before, obviously, the time of death. So all of that to say that leads to this part here on the left, which is, we can be mandated by clients to do a full financial plan, which encompasses all of these situations, or we could be mandated by clients to do a partial plan. So Adam will just focus on the retirement plan and my protection plan. So that is called a partial mandate that clients will give us. Okay, and the best way I can exemplify what this means is, I'll take an example from football. So see a financial planner as the quarterback in your financial life. So we are the center of your financial life. We can answer almost all financial related questions. If not, we have a network of professionals that we can pull information from. But we are the first point of contact for any question that you have that involves your finances. So the results in why choosing a financial planner are as follows. So I brought it down to the most simplest and basic 3 points. I personally feel that an individual or a client chooses their financial professional based on their goals that they have, whether it be, I just want to focus on investments, I want to focus on setting up a savings budget for the future, I want to focus on a real estate plan to buy several plexes, I want to focus on, as I said, retirement, I want to focus on leaving a legacy for my family, etc., etc. Those are the goals. So whatever goals you have, make sure that those fit with the professional you're choosing. Okay? Your needs. So what do I need to have done? So if I want to look at an insurance plan because I feel I need life insurance because I have a property and I have kids and I want to make sure I'm protected in case I pass away, well, make sure that you choose a professional that, number one, has the insurance license and that can look at how the insurance fits with your overall financial situation. Okay? And then the fit. Make sure that you choose a professional that fits with what you're looking for. So timely responses, working in person or by Skype, for example. Make sure that the fit in personality, process, and products that they offer or solutions that they offer fit with who you are as a client and as an individual. The second point for me is very, very important, is trust or transparency. So in the personal financial world, all we have is our reputation and trust with clients. So being stewards of your capital is really, really important. So for me, trust is of the utmost importance. Make sure whoever you choose, besides the licenses and degrees they have, make sure that you trust them and make sure they come from a credible or referred source. Okay? And the last point I want to leave you with is, remember that financial planners are the quarterback of your financial life. So the biggest compliment I get from clients is really that they often come to me with an initial question, and then if I may answer it, I do. And if I cannot because it's outside of my scope of duties, I will bring in a professional and make sure that we answer that question together, so that when the client leaves my office or leaves the conversation with me, they have their options and they're able to make a more informed decision. Okay? So I hope this explains or demystifies and simplifies the process by which you can choose your financial professional. And remember, as always, if you like the video, if you like the channel, please click like, please subscribe, please share the channel. It's always appreciated. And as always, have a great day.